All right, hello everyone. This is Ben Folk, VP Sales for Richter. This is Robert Cornish, our CEO.
Hi.
And today we're going to do a very quick talk about Cliffhanger and what that is in terms of like prospects and making a decision, your prospects and how they go about making decisions and why sometimes they hang up.
So yeah, obviously we've all been there. We all run into this. You get to the point where you've sold a prospect. You go through the whole stages, and you've done a good job of selling them. They're sold on the benefits. They're sold on what you're doing, and you're nearly there. And then you get to the very end, and they kind of just go out of communication, and they go dark on you, and they don't respond to your text and your email and your phone calls and things like that. We've all been there, and they're hung up. And the problem is that, you know, they're mostly sold, right? They're mostly sold, but they're not entirely sold. There's something about it that has them unsold, you know, and they have, you know, something is lingering, something is sitting there, and your job is to figure out, number one, what that is, and number two, how to handle it and how to get it done. And it could be a lot of things. It could be something related to the deal. It could be something related to pricing. But your job is to get them out of that sort of hang-up situation and move it to close. And more often than not, we found that it has to do with confidence and it has to do with understanding so they can make a decision. But there's usually something they're not telling you related to the overall situation, something that they haven't really, either because their ego gets in the way, or they don't want to say, or it's awkward, or whatever, but there's something that they're not telling you, and so the standard operating basis out there is just to not call you back, and it's your job to figure it out. So, you know, pass it over to you, Ben. What do you, in this kind of situation, what do you typically do?
The main thing you need to do, that I do, is I'm going to, because a prospect goes dark, and we don't really use that term around here because it's reliant upon the salesperson to find out what's going on. The salesperson is the concierge, the person who's going to move it along. So it's my job to, sometimes I have to hunt and punch. I have to go, is it this, is it that, is it the other thing, and I'll do it on voicemail, email, text message, whatever's necessary to help them. Ultimately, your mission is to go and help this person, so you have to, in order to help them, sometimes you have to pull out the thing that they don't want to discuss and that might be a little uncomfortable, and maybe they're not even thinking about it. Maybe it crossed their mind once and then they said, oh, I'm going to put this off till later and I'll come back to it. And boy, Richter seems great. It sure does seem like a great product, or your product or service. It seems great. It's wonderful. And we will think about it. We're going to ponder it for a bit. And so the challenge is to really help them voice the concern, see if you can help sort out that thing, and then turn back over a solution so that you can be like, okay, so I've helped a bit here. What do you say we move forward? So that's how I'll go about it. Is you really got to get in their head and you got to help them. You got to help them come to the table and voice it. And sometimes you have to guess at it, and it's not some endless list of things. And then you can hopefully find the thing, and they'll tell you about it.
Yeah, you know what I found along those lines as well is that there is some consideration, and you have to sort of get it out of them in some way by asking pointed questions, asking questions that kind of say, well, is it this, is it that, is this, and you kind of go through it. Once you can get them to originate that, then you can go in and handle it. At the same time, while you're trying to get it out of them, you want to be hitting them with different assets and material, which are things that you think it may be. Well, it's going to handle the concern on budget, handle the concern on delivery, or answering different questions on related to the product or service or what have you, and
return on investment.
Yeah, by handling these different things, you may push that right button. They're going to say, oh my God, that's the thing, and then we move forward. But there's something there that you have to tinker and figure out. And often what salespeople do, which is a mistake, is they'll just say, oh, they've gone dark. And around this area, they'll kind of back off and they come off the cycle, and that's a mistake. That's a wrong way to go. There's something that you need to figure out and tinker, and you can't give up. You've got to persist all the way through by figuring out how to get a hold of them, ask the right questions, ask as many different questions to sort of get to the bottom of it, and at the same time, you're providing them with assets, providing them material, case studies, testimonials, comments, other things that show benefits, things that are going to help sort of woo them and evangelize your product and service and continue selling all the way through. which is going to often move it over the edge and get them off that cliff so they can jump and move forward on the deal. So, that's what we do here. That's what we recommend. And
I got another job offer today.
yeah, that's right. That's right. We do this all the time, and we get our salespeople constantly getting job offers. So
Yeah, I mean that happens a lot, and it's just. But the main thing is that the reason I get a job offer, and I get usually about one or so a week, maybe one every 2 weeks, something like that, from prospects who I'm reaching out to, is because it's mostly just a Richter viewpoint, and we'll talk more about the Richter viewpoint later and sort of how we go about it. But the main thing is simply that no matter what, I will never stop with my effort to assist and help. And that's really what Richter brings to the table, through communication, through correct communication, through professional and very positive and upbeat communication. We will persist and we will assist our clients no matter what, no matter how small. IBM is one of my personal clients. We've done many videos for them, and I've done down to single owner businesses. And it doesn't matter who you are, we're going to help you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you with more videos. This is one of the early ones we're doing here, and look, if you have any recommendations on content or things you want answered, leave it in the comments, and we'll make sure we tackle that point.
Awesome.
Okay. Thanks.
Bye.